Christmas will look a little different for Australians dealing with cost of living pressures this year. More than half of those surveyed by the Salvation Army say they're more stressed about their finances compared with last year. Earlier this week, Danica DiGiorgio spoke with Major Bruce Harmer from the Salvation Army about the difficult choices some Australians are facing this festive season.
These are the stark choices, Danica, that many Australians are making. Do I pay my utility bill this month? Or do I keep my family fed? It's a stark choice that many of us don't have to make, but sadly so many Australians are having to make this Christmas.
It's really, really tough out there. What are some of the stories that you're hearing on the front line?
Well, we hear about families who they want to make sure that they provide for their children. You would imagine mums and dads really do care for their children and they want their Christmas to be special. And yet they simply can't afford to put food on the table, let alone gifts under the tree. And we're so thankful that we're in a position where we can help put that food on the table and put those gifts under the tree this Christmas.
Absolutely. And look, some of the statistics that have been released by the Salvation Army, they're frightening. 28% of people are going into debt just to be able to afford Christmas.
That's right. That's quite alarming. And 28%, that's a large number of people going into debt for Christmas. And we know that in the new year, just around the corner from Christmas, carrying that debt, we have back to school costs, uniforms, stationery and the rest. Coupled with that debt, many people are going to find themselves in a hole that's simply too deep for them to climb out, and they're going to need our support right through the new year.
They certainly will, and as you know, we've seen multiple interest rate hikes. We're seeing the cost of power, electricity bills going up, groceries. It's no surprise that people are reaching out for help. What are the sort of mental health impacts of this?
Well, people are experiencing, if I can just refer to my notes for a moment, 28% of the community, I should say 34%, have expressed that they've been significantly impacted by loneliness, anxiety, depression and stress, and they're feeling pessimistic about the future, all at a time when we should be feeling joy and happiness and optimism about the year ahead.
And has this cost of living crisis put extra pressure on the Salvation Army?
It has put extra pressure on the Salvation Army and other agencies, I might add. We live in a beautiful world, a beautiful country where Australians are head and shoulders above other communities. And whenever we put out the call for support and need for those in need in our community, the Australian public always respond so well and ensure that we have the resources we need to have a positive impact on those in need.
That's really good to hear. And how is the Salvation Army helping people this Christmas?
This year we'll be giving out 64,000 hampers and vouchers. We'll be giving out 68,000 beds, making sure that people have a place to, a safe place to rest. 136,000 meals will be delivered this Christmas, and well over 200,000 gifts and toys will be given to families in need this Christmas.
That's incredible, incredible work. We know that we've seen over the last few years there's been bushfires, we've seen COVID, floods, ongoing floods. Do Australians have donor fatigue? Has that at all been an issue?
It hasn't been an issue for the Salvation Army and our supporters, and I think that comes back to the fact that the Salvation Army are a trusted brand. We make a promise that we will deliver a service, whether it be flood or drought or fire or the years of COVID that we've had. And the Australian public, those who have confidence in us, provide us the resources and we deliver on our promise. And then we provide impact reports at the end of all of that to show how we've acquitted the funds and put their money to good use. So we believe that, again, the Australian public will respond to our call for support this Christmas and help us have the resources we need to get those many thousands of Australians who are doing it tough through a very difficult period. So
how can Australians help?
Well, if they'd like to help with our Christmas campaign, visit salvationarmy.org.au or give us a call on 137258 and we can take your donation there too.